Guys, we have a news from Canada, but this time around, it's not a good one. I know it's not what most people are expecting to hear, but the Canadian government has announced that they are putting further limits on the number of international study permits they issue. Okay, so it means that from 2025, the number of study permits issued to international students will reduce by 10%. And that's not all. They also announced that they are reducing the number of temporary foreign workers in Canada and also shortening the duration of their work terms. They want businesses in Canada to invest in Canadian workers. So this was announced today, being the 18th of September 2024, during a joint press conference held in Ottawa. So the Minister of Immigration, Mark Miller, announced these changes to the country's immigration system, and many of the changes are pertaining to the international student programs, because they are not just reducing the number of international study permits they issue, they are also putting a limit to the work permit they issue to spouses and other changes relating to the postgraduate work permit. So we're going to look at all of that in this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video while we jump right into the video. Now look at the news release. Like I said, released today, September 18th. Okay, earlier this year, IRCC announced a decrease in the number of temporary residents from 6.5 of Canada's total population down to 5%. That is by 2026. The only way the government can do it is to take action to manage the increase of temporary residents and hold employers misusing the system accountable. All right. They said they are reforming the international student program, tightening eligibility requirements for temporary foreign workers, enforcing employer compliance more strictly, and making labour market impact assessments more rigorous to mitigate fraud and more. So guys, the thing is that most of the countries are now tightening up their system. They are trying to, mitigate fraud, to stop people that are misusing the system, and also be in charge of the immigration system, right? So I think that's what Canada is trying to do. They are trying to reform the programs, tighten the eligibility requirements for temporary foreign workers. Okay, now getting an LMIA job, that is labor market impact assessment job, will be more rigorous. It is going to be more difficult than it is right now. It is going to be more difficult. Okay, so let's go ahead. To ensure the temporary residents we welcome to Canada can be supported adequately, Mark Miller today announced additional measures to manage the volume of temporary residents arrivals, uphold the integrity of our immigration system, and protect vulnerable people. It's just what I said before. They're still trying to uphold the integrity of their immigration system so that people will not misuse the system. Okay, so now we are announcing a further reduction in the intake cap on international study permits for 2025, based on a 10% reduction from the 2024 target of 485,000 new study permits issued, and then stabilizing the intake cap for 2026 such that the number of study permits issued remains the same as 2025. So for 2025, this means reducing study permits issued to 437,000 instead of 485,000. So there's going to be a 10% reduction on study permits. Okay. So another changes is that they are updating the post-graduation work permit this fall to better align with immigration goals and labour market needs. They are also limiting work permit eligibility later this year to spouses of master's degree students to only those whose program is at least 16 months in duration. So this is slightly different from the UK dependence issue, right? So the UK stopped dependence from accompanying international students, right? But here, Canada is limiting the work permit eligibility. They are not issuing work permits now to spouses of international students, except those who are coming for a program that is at least 16 months in duration. Okay, so if you are going for a master's degree program and it is not up to 16 months, unfortunately, your spouse accompanying you may not be eligible to get a work permit. Next change is that they are limiting work permit eligibility later this year to spouses of foreign workers in management or professional occupations or in sectors with labor shortages under the Canada Work Permit program. So they're making these changes to protect the integrity of their system and responsibly grow their country. Okay, like guys, the prime minister posted this on Facebook, right? The comments there are not even funny. A lot of people are complaining, saying so many things about, people in Canada not getting jobs, but people from outside we get the job, foreigners will get the job. But whose fault is that? Let me not go into that, right? They also said international students are taking up all the jobs, and that people born in Canada are not getting the jobs, but international students will come and get the jobs, and all these complaints, right? But I think that's why they said they've listened to Canadians and they're trying to protect the integrity of their system, right, and grow their economy. Okay, for the temporary foreign worker program, they said it was designed to address labor market shortages when qualified Canadians were not able to fill those roles. And that is one thing, guys, because I know some people are complaining, but these jobs that foreigners are coming to do in Canada, some Canadians will not be able to do those jobs. Do you understand? Some Canadians may not be able to take up such roles, but you see foreigners ready to take up such roles, and that is why this is happening. So right now, they said they know that there are more Canadians qualified to fill open positions, and that is why they are making these changes. Right now, they have more Canadians who are qualified to fill up open positions. The changes they are making today will prioritize Canadian workers and ensures Canadians can trust the program is meeting the needs of our economy. So that is just the summary of the changes to the temporary foreign worker program. They want to invest in Canadians now, okay? Quick facts here is that the proposed reduction of temporary residents from 6.5 of Canada's total population will be reflected in the 2025 to 2027 immigration level plans, which will be released by November 1, 2024. Okay, now graduates from programs at public colleges will remain eligible for a post-graduation work permit of up to 3 years if they graduate from a field of study linked to occupations in long-term shortage. Can you see the condition attached here? Now, if you graduate in Canada from a designated learning institution, you'll be eligible to get a post-graduation work permit, right? But now they're saying that graduates from programs at public colleges will also remain eligible, right, for this PGWP of up to 3 years. However, it is only possible if they graduate from a field of study linked to occupations in long-term shortage. So if they graduate from anything less than that, they will not be eligible for this PGWP anymore. Okay. Now, as part of the changes to the post-graduation work permit program, all applicants will be required to demonstrate a minimum language proficiency in French or English. Okay, so they said it's CLB7 and CLB5 for college graduates. Okay, so the 2025-2026 study permit intake cap will include masters and doctoral students who will now have to submit a provincial or territorial attestation letter. We will be reserving approximately 12% of allocation spaces for these students in recognition of the benefits they bring to the Canadian labour market. This study permit intake cap will now include masters and doctoral students. Before now, they were not included, but now they are included in this study permit intake cap. Okay. Another thing you need to know about this change is that degree graduates are still eligible for the postgraduate work permit of up to 3 years. All right. So guys, that would be all for this video. I just saw this news and I thought to bring it to you people. What do you think about this? Do you think it's a harsh one? Do you think it's going to change anything? Do you think it will affect you? I know most of you still want to go to Canada, especially using the work visa, right? So with this news now concerning the temporary foreign workers, do you think it will affect you? Let me know in the comment section. Left for me is not that bad. The only thing that will be more difficult now is getting an LMIA job. That is it. Aside that, Canada is still a goal, okay? Canada we pin, right? It is still a goal, right? So thank you for watching and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section, okay? Thank you for watching. Bye.